video from your buddy, Mark Loftus. Here we go.
Today's topic, chatting with Crystal Curtis about marketing.
Hello, this is Mark Loftus. It's Monday the 21st of January, the day after, the morning after the big Empower Network event in Austin. And I'm so fortunate. I have a treat for you. I'm going to introduce you to a marketing queen, a direct sales queen. Crystal Curtis Crystal, she is so phenomenal. What I like about your style, Crystal, is your background. You come from an arts background. You're like an art historian, and what other? You do performance art?
I'm
and
a sculptor and performing artist, and I'm an art historian. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I enjoy your videos that I've seen on the Facebook and your whole marketing, and you bring, I don't know, to put it in kind of a highfalutin way, I think you're putting your artistic sensibilities to good use, bringing integrity to your marketing. There's really no need to be a starving artist anymore, is there really?
Well, where I came out of a transition was, I don't think any artist chooses to be a starving artist. It's that we're conditioned to focus on, project-based without necessarily being equipped with a business sensibility. Like, how would you make this project sustainable? Mm-hmm. So in the fine art community in New York, it's the rhetoric is very much, to get your credentials into the industry by getting your higher education with a master's degree, and then go find a gallery to be represented by. So that's essentially, that system. Mm-hmm. And then the facade over it, or what the facade I was sort of getting tired of, was that that would be the ultimate goal, was to just exhibit every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And for me anyways, I just had a life-changing moment where I thought I was in my dream job. I was teaching at a university, and I was filling in my income gap with low-paying freelance work. Mm-hmm. And in 2008, with the financial collapse, I literally lost all my work overnight. Mm-hmm. So that was just a basic survival need for me to discover in that moment. One, I wasn't going to participate in the recession, and two, I was working in sort of a financial model that was unsustainable for me. Mm-hmm. So I went into the first thing I decided to do for some reason was go into client-based work. Mm-hmm. And the reason was because I in the university, in higher academics, you're only taught, you're only paid with a stipend per semester. Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to scale up my income, or if I wanted more control over my income, I decided if I went into the people business, into service as a service professional, I would be able to control, my time and my resources, because I could decide how many clients I wanted or not. And that just didn't exist in the creative model I was already in. So that's how I got into direct sales. Right.
And you focus on top tier stuff, basically, right?
If you don't know what top tier is, that just means that you're selling high ticket products. Right. And one of the reasons is there's a financial benefit because you get paid more for the same amount of work, but also it attracts better clients who, it's not that necessarily that they have the funds that they're looking to invest in top tier products, but that they have a commitment to stick with you a longer time, and that's the kind of service relationship that I want to have with a client base. Right.
And Empower Network is an interesting little side thing for you, isn't it?
It started as a side thing mainly because it has phenomenal marketing training, and I was part of this community online that was requesting more marketing training, and so it's convenient to refer them to a product that really delivers what they offer.
Every single event 95% of the room has stood because they've had success.
So the thought leadership in Empower Network is just a really great product to recommend.
Right.
And that's where I started. When I really started understanding why it's so easy to make it, to use it as a part-time income stream or a side project even, is because they've built it with complete convenience in mind. The system as a way to operate it with a very simple daily method of operation is really genius.
And I know this for a fact, not only because I understand our skill sets, but also because we have the proof in the numbers that nobody builds sales processes like we do.
Right.
And what I discovered is that if you're applying your efforts to the system any more than 2 hours per day, after that point it really ends up becoming a law of diminishing returns.
Right.
So if you want to get the most out of your time using this system, you have to keep your message very simple and your daily method of operation super simple, and that's why I really love spreading the word of this amazing system, because they've done so much to keep you focused on a very simple method.
Right. All about focus and consistency, and not allowing yourself to get overwhelmed with all the different marketing styles and techniques. And
well, I'll put it this way. When I first got into direct sales, my first mentor told me it is better to be overwhelmed than underwhelmed, because when you are overwhelmed, you're overpaid. When you're underwhelmed, you're usually in a situation of being underpaid. So I believe that overwhelm as an emotional concept is actually a myth in this industry. And when I had a moment really that if there was any more selfish way to attribute yourself to an industry or a business venture or a new idea or a new project, is to be overwhelmed. Because only in the Western world, where we live in a lifestyle of absolute abundance, I don't care what your financial situation is, we have an abundant amount of choices, resources, opportunity, and if you come into a new venture with a mindset that you're immediately overwhelmed in a way that paralyzes you, I just discovered that that's really probably the most selfish way that you can apply yourself to that new venture. You know, it's not that hard to just cut through your own noise and get what it is that you need to be done. And really, that's kind of where the creative background comes from. Artists are taught to be problem solvers, and we're also taught to, work kind of on a project-based situation. So where most artists are probably trained to think that they can just be a free spirit or whatever. If you actually want to launch a project off the ground and you need an audience to give you feedback for it, there's probably no better training than in the creative world to apply that to the entrepreneurial environment that is associated with direct sales.
Right. All right. Well, Crystal, I know you've got to get going on lots of things. There's still, even though the event's over, there's still after events. I've got to get back to Oklahoma. But thank you so much, Crystal.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Our goal is to every single city that we go to, we want to leave it better than we found it, guys. That's the Empower Network difference.
Well, I made it back to Oklahoma safe and sound. I did have a flat tire incident in the parking garage well, that's another video. Crystal Curtis. My God, what a classy woman. A great marketer. Oh, there are gurus dispensing golden nuggets left and right, but tell you what, crystal clarity, that's something I can never get enough of. Thank you so much, Crystal. Just the fact that this young woman of culture and class, that she's participating in Empower Network, well, why shouldn't you be? You need to investigate this business. You don't have to sell out your soul, your delicate artistic sensibilities to be a marketer. You can reframe this Empower Network craziness. You frame it the way you want to bring it to the world. Check out the opportunity. Click that button below this video. What could hurt? Okay, this is Mark signing off, reminding you to keep your heart and your head connected. click the link. Mwah.
Click the link.